moving to question number 22. So for this question, when there are two dice or die are there, so that time I think always we need to draw the tables, and that how many options are there, 5 and 6, right? So these are my 6 things. So suppose if I roll a dice, two dice, right? So suppose one dice and one dice. So what will be the options on the top if I roll? So it can be 1 1, it can be 1 2, it can be 1 3, it can be 1 4, it can be 1 5, and it can be 1 6. Then it can be 2 1 3 2 6 4 6 5 and 6 6. So these can be the outcomes, right, of any after rolling two dice. So these will be the outcomes. If on the top we can get these numbers, right? So we can see there are total outcomes are how much now? Total outcomes are 36, right? We can see from this that total outcomes are 36 in this. Now total outcomes are 36, and now this is the question, but in different question they can ask you, like if same number on the top, so 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6. So these can be the same numbers, or sum is prime, or sum is even, odd, or anything they can, or sum is 3, sum is 4. They can ask anything, right? So in this table they have given a table that you have to complete the following table first. So this table shows sum, right? So event is equal to sum on two dice, right? So that is my event, and what is the probability? Okay, so this is my sum and this is my probability table, correct? So I have to find out the probabilities of these different things. So some can be 2, some can be 3, some can be 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. Okay, so in this table they have given this is already 1 by 36, and this is for 8, it is equal to 5 by 36, and for 12 also they have given as 1 by 36. So these are the options already given, and now we have to find the other probabilities, because we have to complete this table. Okay, so first let me go to shall we write down the formula first? So we can write down the formula first, that probability of an event is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Okay, so now first part is this is the first question, part of the question. So I'll just divide. So when sum is 2 is already given, so I'll just go for sum of sum is 3. Okay, so I can say sum is 3. Sum is 3. 2 is already given, so sum is 3. I'll go back to this, so I'll see sum is 3 here and here, others are 2, then it becomes more than 4. So only these two numbers, right? So 2 and 1 and 1 and 2. So in this case 2 and 1 and 1 and 2, these are the two options where the favorable outcomes. So favorable outcomes are how much? These ones are favorable outcomes, so number of favorable outcomes are 2 only, right? So probability of getting sum 3 is equal to 2, and total outcomes are how much? 36, right? So 2 out of 36, so that is equal to 1 by 18. So I can fill in this table 1 by 18. Okay, so now I'll move to B part. So B part I am referring as sum as 4. Okay, so sum is 4. So sum is 4. I have already written the formula. So what are the favorable outcomes? Sum is 4. So sum is 4, 2 and 2, 1 and 3, and 3 and 1. So there are 3 outcomes, right? So 1 and 3, 3, 1 and 2 and 2. Okay, so favorable outcomes are 1 and 3, 3 and 1 and 2 and 2. So these are the 3 favorable. So that is equal to 3 favorable outcomes. So probability of getting sum as 4, so that will be equal to 3 by 36. So I can say 1 by 12. So that is my answer. So now I'll fill it here. So this is equal to 1 by 12. Okay, now I'll move to C part. I'm just giving that name. So sum is 5. Okay, so sum is 5. So first I'll find out what are the favorable outcomes. So I'll know. So favorable outcome, sum is 5. Okay, so sum is 5, 1 4, 2 3, 3 2 and 4 1. So I can see there are 4 favorable outcomes for this. So what are those? 1 and 4, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. So there are 4 outcomes, right? 4 outcomes. So now sum as 5. So now probability of sum 5 will be equal to 4 by total number of outcomes are this. So 1 by 9 is my favorable outcome for 5. Sum as 5 is 1 by 9. Okay, 1 by 9. Now I'll go to D part. I can say sum is 6. Okay, so now favorable outcomes, sum is 6. So let's go to this table, refer it. Sum is 6. So 6 is 4 and 2, 5 and 1, 3 and 3, 4 2 and 1 5. So 1 5, 2 4, 3 3. 1 5, 2 4 and 3 3. Right, so these are the favorable outcomes. So how many? 5, right? So number of favorable outcomes are 5. So my probability of sum 6 will be equal to 5 by 36. Okay, so I'll fill in this table, 5 by 36. Okay, now sum as 7. Which part? E part. Okay, so sum as 7. Okay, so now favorable outcomes, let's find out which are sum is 7. We'll go back to this table. So sum is 7. So 7 will be 1 6, 2 5, 3 4, 4 3 and 5 2. Correct. So 1 6, 2 5, 3 4, 4 3, 5 2 and yeah, this is also there. So 5 2 and 6 1. So all these are adding sum to 7. So sum 7, there are a lot of outcomes. So let's write down all the outcomes. So for sum 7 we have 1 6, then we have 6 1. I can write down here only, I know, because this is also one option. Then 2 5 and 5 2. Okay, then 3 4 and 4 3. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So total outcomes are 7 outcomes for this favorable outcome. So probability for getting sum as 7, I have 7 by 36. No, how many outcomes? 1 2 3 4 5 6 outcomes, sorry. So 6 outcomes are here. So 6 by 36, right? So 1 by 6. So that will be my answer. So 1 by 6. Now let's move to sum as F part. 8 they have already given in this table, so I don't need to fill. For 7th one I had to fill, so 1 by 6. Sum as 7 is 1 by 6. Okay, now for 9 I'll go to 9. So sum as 9. Sum as 9. Okay, so now favorable outcomes I'll find out. Okay, so these are 6. Okay, so now for 9 I have to find out. So 9 will be 5 and 4, 4 and 5, 6 and 3, and 3 and 6. So 3, 6, 5, 4. Like that I can remember. So 3, 6, 6, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 4. Correct. So these are the favorable outcomes. So now there are 4 outcomes for this one, right? Okay, for then it will be probability of getting 9 as sum, right? Or sum as 9. I'll write down sum as 9. Okay, sum 9. Okay, so that will be equal to 4 by 36. So that will also be equal to 1 by 9. Okay, now let me go to G part. So sum as 10 now. Sum as 10. So favorable outcomes. So favorable outcomes will be sum as 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so 10 will be 4, 6, 5, 5, and 6, 4. Okay, so outcomes are 4 and 6, 6 and 4, and 5 and 5. So there are only 3 outcomes. So 3 outcomes. Okay, so now probability of getting sum 10 will be equal to 3 by 36. So that is also equal to 1 by 12. Okay, let me fill now. So 1 by 12. Did I fill for 9? No, for 9 it was 1 by 9. Yeah, and for 10 it has come out to be 1 by 12. Okay, so now sum as 11. We'll move to sum as 11. So maybe H part. So what is it? Sum as 11. So now favorable outcomes. Let's see. So I have filled 1 by 12. Now favorable outcomes as 11. So 11 will be equal to 6, 5, and 5, 6, right? So 6 and 5 and 5 and 6. So there are 2 outcomes. Okay, so now some probability of getting sum as 11 will be equal to 2 by 36. So that is also equal to 1 by 18, right? So now this is also equal to 1 by 18. So we have completed this table. Okay, so that was my first part. So that's over. Now second part of the question. So now in second part they are asking the student argues that there are only possible ill outcomes are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Therefore each of them has probability 1 by 11. No, right? We have already seen, we can see from this table that each will not have probability of 1 by 11 because total number of possibilities are 36. Outcomes are 36. So it can't be 11 sum. Correct? So we can see that they do not have equally likely outcomes. So I can say no for second part, right? each does not have probability 1 by 11, right? Oh sorry, 1 by 11. It does not have a, each does not have a probability of 1 by 11, as we can see from the table, right? So, and they are not equally likely outcomes. Equally likely outcomes, as we can see from the table, right? So all have different sums, are not equally likely outcomes. Every time we won't get only like 2 we are getting one time, 12 we are getting one time, right? We can see from this table. See, 2 we are getting one time and 12 we are getting one time, and 3 and 11 we are getting two times, right? Then so all these are different, they are not same. So this is 1 by 9, then 36, and 1 by 6. So we are getting this 6 times, 7 we are getting 6 times. So that's why we are getting these. So these are not equally likely outcomes. These, we are talking about the sum, correct? So these are not probabilities of getting.